Rightio, so welcome to another episode. This episode we are going to tidy off a few items that I wanted to neaten up on this side of the shed. I'm going to be sanding these back flush. We'll get a little timber trim so we don't see the edge of all these yellow tongue sheets that I've put up. But yeah, so let's just get into it. This is Hack TV, where we have a crack at building whatever, however. Let's get into it. Alright, so I've done one side of the beam and didn't really realise how much of the edge of the yellow tongue actually just fills up the sandpaper. So all that wax really just clogs it up really quick, so I might have to go down and get some more coarse paper just so I can rip through it a bit quicker. And then I might have to go back over it with something a bit lighter, so watch this space. Alrighty, so let's rip this bad boy off. Got a bit of 40 grit, should do some decent damage. So I might just do a close up on how I actually check the paper is balanced on the wheel. Rightio, so that's all sanded back and flush. Ready to go find a nice bit of timber that I'm happy to use. So let's go down to Bunnings, see what we can find. Rightio, so I've worked out how I'm going to treat the edge of all these boards. So I had a few of these offcuts lying around and a few extra studs that I didn't use when I framed it up, and figured I'd make use of them. So the idea is to just run these flush to the top, fix it through to the framing, and that should give me pretty good edge treatment against any knocks or anything like that to the top or anything. Bit of an overkill, but I think it'll definitely serve the purpose. And really for the length that you can get at the price, it's a lot cheaper than if I was to get dressed timber or any of those mouldings that I could run around. So figured it's a shed, so that's what I'm using, 90 by 35. So this filter on these Ryobi orbital sanders are just no good. Does absolutely nothing. So I couldn't get my vacuum to actually go into the back of the tool, so found a random bit of cardboard tube that I had lying around, and I just kind of slid in it and taped it with some fabric tape so it can slide in there, and then I can get the end of the hose of the vacuum in the back of that, and that's going to be my dust extraction for this little Ryobi sander. So let's give that a crack. Right, so after I put this timber frame up flush to the outside edge, I'm left with about 40mm gap between that side of the stud to this side of the yellow tongue. So I've just gone down and picked up some 42mm by 19mm dressed pine. I'll cut down the size, that'll fill that gap, and I'll just use a bit of glue and just a couple of fixing nails that'll just fix it in place. So nothing too fancy, just want to close up this edge. So that'll be it, and yeah, should look alright. Let's go. so next I'm just going to put a bracket to mount my ladder. Just want to mount my ladder up on the wall so I can get it off the ground out of the way. So I've got these powder coated steel brackets, and it should be able to hold the ladder whether it's half folded or folded down 4 times, so this can fold down a few more times. So I'm going to try and get it as high as I can and make sure I can get it up there in its fully folded form. So let's have a crack. Right, so thought I might start a bit of a wall of shame, memorabilia, random stuff wall. So these are the first editions. So I've had these wheels sitting out the back for a while now. Used to have them on my SS, but I hit a fairly significant pothole down an old country road back in the day and absolutely obliterated this wheel, and this one wasn't too bad, but it did have a bit of a buckle in it, but I banged it out. But it was still no good because it's fractured. But anyway, so I've sold the other 2 wheels and I've just kept these here just to remind me, I don't know, I just kept them. So what I'm going to do is mount these up on the wall. So I've got a couple of brackets. That I'll rig up somehow to just sort of hold these up on the wall. And yeah, let's do it. Rightio, so they're up. What I ended up doing was I got a bit of bracing strap and I bolted it through one of the lug holes and screwed it to the back of the bracket just so it holds the wheel back flush to the wall. So because I found it was kind of wanted to sit on a bit of an angle with the bottom of it sitting out. So that just gives me a bit of extra safety as well. So now I'll put the caps on and it's ready to go. And there are some expensive shed decorations. Thanks, Vic Roads. Alright, so this episode we got a couple of wheels mounted, some storage for the ladder, got all these trims up, no longer seeing any of the exposed yellow tongue around all these edges. Bench tops and everything. All the way around. Put some hooks up for some leads and lights and whatnot. And continue all the way around. And the same on this side. So essentially pretty well finished on this side. So this area, I want to just continue using the shed just to see how I actually want to fit this side out. So in terms of tools and how I actually want to work in the area. So that's sort of just left a bit vague at the minute. So watch this space, see what I end up doing there. And this side, eventually when I get some new tools, I'll have the area underneath that shelf for the tool storage and charger bay. And same with this wall as the other side. I'll just see how I end up using the shed, what I end up putting in there. But pretty well as you see it, is how I'll probably keep it for now, until I decide what I actually want to do with any extra stuff. So if you've enjoyed this so far, remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.